In the 4th year of my marriage to Liam Williams, I finally became pregnant. Holding the test results in my hands, I burst into tears of joy. From today onward, I would no longer have to endure those disgusting Chinese herbal medicines, or undergo daily IVF treatments, injections, and dietary restrictions. Standing outside the obstetrics and gynecology department, I gently rubbed my flat stomach and hurriedly dialed Liam Williams' phone number. We were finally going to have a child. Finally. The phone rang, but before I could speak. I'm in a meeting. Come back and talk about it later. Liam Williams' voice was low, tinged with impatience. I opened my mouth to speak, but before the words could escape, a familiar figure suddenly came into view. He stood there in a suit. The dark purple patterned tie around his neck was the one I had carefully tied for him this morning. This was Liam Williams. He had lied to me. My chest felt like it had been pierced by a sharp knife, and the cold January wind blew in, making me numb all over. So, you were in the obstetrics department? I watched as a fleeting look of panic flashed across Liam Williams' indifferent face before he began looking around frantically. I knew he was looking for me. Just then, Lynn Coco walked out of the doctor's office with the test results, naturally linking her arm through his. Liam Williams jerked away from her as if he'd been electrocuted, his eyes darting around the room. What did it mean that he and Lynn Coco were here together? My gaze fell on the woman's abdomen. I don't remember how I rushed toward them or how I grabbed Lynn Coco's hair and slammed her abdomen. Jessica! Enough! With Liam Williams's angry shout, I felt a tremendous force push me away. Bang! Ah! By the time I reacted, I was already lying on the floor, feeling intense pain in my waist. Does it hurt? Let me take you to the emergency room. I was sweating from the pain, but when I looked up, he was staring at Lynn Coco with concern. He wasn't asking me. I'm fine. You should check on Jess first. Lynn Coco shook her head pitifully, but deliberately lifted her injured forehead slightly. Sure enough, when Liam Williams saw her wound, his eyes blazed with anger as he glared at me. Jessica, you better hope Coco's head isn't injured, or I'll make you pay for this. Miss, are you okay? Nurses screamed and rushed toward me. The pain was excruciating, as if someone were stirring my uterus with a wooden stick. Before I lost consciousness completely, I saw the little boy hiding behind Liam Williams, timidly pulling at his sleeve. Daddy, that lady is so scary. Liam Williams did make me pay. My child was gone. I lay in the hospital bed, staring at the bright white walls, the air filled with the pungent smell of disinfectant. Liam Williams entered with a somber expression, holding a thermos. The nurse said he had stayed all night. Usually neat and tidy, he now had stubble on his lips, looking somewhat disheveled. My mom made some chicken soup. I know you might not feel like eating, but try to drink some. He blew on the soup to cool it down before handing it to me, bringing it to my lips. I pushed it away with my hand, spilling most of the soup from the bowl. Liam Williams furrowed his brows, as if he wanted to get angry, but then he shrugged it off and poured another bowl. I still knocked it over without hesitation. Amidst the sound of shattered ceramic, I heard Liam Williams grit his teeth and shout at me. Jessica, what do you want? I didn't mean to. I didn't know you were pregnant. I just wanted to stop you from acting recklessly. Do you know how embarrassing it is to act like this in public? I tilted my head toward him. Is Lynn Coco pregnant again? Liam Williams' lips tightened. No. Then why did you come to the obstetrics and gynecology department with her? She wasn't feeling well. What kind of illness requires a visit to the obstetrics and gynecology department? Was Liam Williams trying to fool me? Then, what about the child? He called you Dad. Are you his father? Liam Williams turned his head away, not letting me see his expression, but his body was tense. The silence lasted for a full minute. Just then, his phone rang. Liam Williams walked over to answer it, keeping his voice low and his tone unusually gentle. After a few words, he hung up. You're very weak right now. Don't dwell on these thoughts. I've hired a nurse to take care of you, and your room will be upgraded to a private room. Just focus on getting better. Liam Williams' tone returned to its previous calm yet distant state. I heard his footsteps heading toward the door, without pausing for a moment. The nurse came in to change my drip. I asked, is the baby a boy or a girl? The nurse paused for a moment, as if she had just understood my meaning. It's a girl, 14 weeks old, very cute. Thank you. I buried my head in the blankets, took out my phone, switched to my secondary account, and opened my mother-in-law's social media feed. Seeing my mother-in-law's social media post, I felt a sharp pain in my chest, unable to breathe. I stroked my abdomen. Just a day ago, she was still safe and sound inside me. I curled up, tears streaming down my face. It's my fault. It's my fault for not protecting her. She was the child I had begged for at Mount Rainier, kneeling on the steps for hours. I had promised before the Buddha that if she came, I would love and spoil her for the rest of my life. If only she had come. I stayed in the hospital for a week, and Liam Williams didn't show up once. From start to finish, only the nurse he hired took care of me. On the day I was discharged, I received a call from Ryan, Liam Williams' partner. Sis-in-law, there's a gathering this weekend. Liam said you have something to do and can't come. We finally managed to make time to gather, and we can't have you miss it. Just postpone the other matters and come with Liam. Liam Williams must be worried that I just had a miscarriage and it's inconvenient for me. Even though he hadn't shown up these past few days, his morning and evening greetings were as punctual as visiting a grave. The messages he sent me over the past few days added up to more than he had sent me in the entire previous year. He might really feel a bit guilty. I can go. Send me the time and address, and I'll definitely be there. That's wonderful. I'll send it to you right away. The banquet was held at a 5-star hotel in the city center. Over the years, Liam Williams' business has grown significantly, and he attends such events several times a month. But he hasn't brought me along in a long time. I took a taxi to the hotel entrance, and the banquet had just begun. Several of Liam Williams' close business partners were there with their wives, but there was no one by his side. When he saw me, the usual indifference on his face gave way to a hint of tension. Why did you come? Ryan patted him on the shoulder. Liam, I invited my sister-in-law. You're such a jerk. She's so easygoing, yet you insisted she wouldn't come. In my impression, Ryan was a complete playboy. But tonight, the woman standing beside him was none other than the one on his marriage certificate. As he had said, all the other families were present, except for me. You're not feeling well. The banquet will last for hours. Your body can't handle it. Liam Williams lowered his voice, took my hand, and started walking toward the door. Just then, Lynn Coco pushed open the private room door with her handbag in hand. Our eyes met, and Lynn Coco's smile froze on her lips. The air was filled with awkwardness, so quiet you could almost hear everyone's heartbeats. I turned to look at Liam Williams. Why is she here? Liam Williams gave everyone a plausible explanation. Because I was sick and needed to rest, he had paid Lynn Coco to go through the motions. But these men who had been in the spotlight for years, how could they not see through it? They were just pretending not to notice to avoid making a scene. I ignored Liam Williams and took my seat first. All the seats at the banquet were pre-assigned, so there was no place for Lynn Coco. She stood awkwardly to the side, unsure of what to do. Coco, you should leave first, Liam Williams said, turning his head slightly. I wiped my hands with a hot towel. Since we've paid, we shouldn't waste it. Lynn Coco, can't you see Mr. Johnson's glass is empty? Mr. Johnson's eyes widened, his face screaming, oh no, don't involve me. Lynn Coco bit her lip, her eyes red, standing still. Mr. Williams, this woman is pretty cheap, isn't she? She clearly hasn't been trained. But you're pretty cheap too, picking such a woman. The one speaking was Ryan's wife, Emily. As soon as she finished, everyone took a sharp breath. Liam Williams's expression darkened instantly. Ryan gripped his wife's hand tightly, signaling her to stop talking. Emily seemed to realize what she had said and hurriedly waved her hands. Mr. Williams, I wasn't calling you a jerk. I meant you're cheap with your money. Oh my, the more I say, the worse it gets. You understand, right? This was forcing Liam Williams to be reasonable. Liam Williams' handsome lips tightened even more, and his gaze grew even more menacing. I smiled. Em's right. Men shouldn't spend money like that. After saying that, I didn't look at Liam Williams but instead glanced at Lynn Coco. What are you standing there for? Everyone here is worth over $100 million. Can you afford to offend them? Serve them well. Liam Williams' gaze shot at me like a sword, warning me not to go too far. The waitstaff in this high-end private room were no fools. they quickly handed the wine to Lynn Coco. Lynn Coco reluctantly poured another glass for Mr. Johnson, then tactfully went to pour for others. Throughout the entire process, Liam Williams didn't stop her. When Lynn Coco was about to pour wine for Emily, Emily moved her glass aside and said with a meaningful smile, "It's just that Giorgia has a good temper. My family's this clueless outsider wouldn't dare to step in front of me." "What are you talking about? I'm not some outsider with cats and dogs." Ryan realized he had fallen into a trap and quickly came to Liam Williams' defense. "This woman has nothing to do with my brother." After saying that, he gave Liam Williams a knowing look. "Right, Liam?" Everyone's gaze fell on Liam Williams. Liam Williams' brows were still furrowed with a cold expression, and he simply nodded without comment. Emily finally took the initiative to hand the wine glass to Lynn Coco, as if Lynn Coco were the waitress there. Lynn Coco lowered her head, her eyes reddening, and her earlier arrogance had vanished. When it was her turn to pour wine for me, her frustration and resentment had nearly reached their peak. She dared not resist but reluctantly poured half a glass of red wine for me. As soon as I made a move to stand up, the waiter hurriedly pulled the chair away from me. Everyone's gaze once again fell on me. I casually raised my wine glass and poured the red wine over Lynn Coco's head. Her meticulously styled hair was ruined, with strands clinging tightly to her scalp. The red wine trickled down her hair and onto her face, ruining her flawless makeup. At that moment, everyone's pupils reflected her disheveled state. I looked at Liam Williams innocently. "Oh, honey," my hands suddenly shook. Lynn Coco probably never imagined that half a glass of red wine could be so much. By now, the red wine had already soaked through her white dress. She bit her lip, her expression a mix of dishevelment, grievance, and restraint. "Jessica," Liam Williams forced my name out between his teeth. "Giorgia, your hand must be shaking because your body hasn't recovered yet. You need to rest more." Emily lied through her teeth. Ryan's lie was even more ridiculous. "Right, right, right. Sis-in-law is just too tired. Liam should be more understanding." I looked at Liam Williams, and Liam Williams looked at me. His gaze was filled with reproach, dissatisfaction, and even disgust. But he didn't know that in my eyes, the man before me was slowly peeling away from the boy he once was. The boy who ran 5 miles to buy me sweet potatoes, hiding them in his coat so they'd stay warm, and the Liam Williams reflected in my pupils were gradually separating. The banquet hadn't ended yet when Lynn Coco was escorted away. I stayed until everyone had left before leaving the hotel with Liam Williams. The streets were deserted in the dead of night, and the wind made me wrap my coat tightly around me. In an instant, I felt a force grab my shoulders and press me against the cold wall. "Jessica, did you feel satisfied tonight?" His eyes were bloodshot, as if the anger he had been suppressing for so long had finally been released. "Feeling sorry for yourself?" I raised an eyebrow at him. "Why didn't you say anything earlier? In front of your partners and friends, why didn't you express your dissatisfaction and anger?" Liam Williams clenched his teeth, and the veins on his forehead bulged. I continued, "Let me answer for you, because you also think it's embarrassing." Liam Williams gripped my chin fiercely, as if he wanted to crush my bones. "Jessica, before today, I never regretted marrying you. So, do you regret it now?" I stared straight at him. "Liam Williams, do you know what soup your mother made for me a week ago?" Liam Williams furrowed his brows. "Pig's feet and peanut soup." Liam Williams seemed to snap out of it, his back trembling as he released his grip on me. "I'm allergic to peanuts, and he knows that. That soup could have killed me. He knows that too. He didn't forget that I can't eat peanuts, he just didn't care if there were peanuts in the soup. He just doesn't care about me anymore." While he was lost in thought, I took off the wedding ring on my finger and slipped it into his pants pocket. With a hoarse voice, I said, "Liam Williams, goodbye." As I got into the car, Liam Williams was still standing in the cold wind, like a statue. I told the driver, "Drive." The driver looked at Liam Williams in the cold wind with a troubled expression. "Madam, but Mr. Williams hasn't gotten in the car yet. Shouldn't we wait for him?" I sniffed, "Drive. We're no longer on the same path." The driver noticed something was off about my expression and seemed to sense something as well. He followed my instructions and drove me back to the house I shared with Liam Williams. This villa was a gift from my in-laws when we got married. The interior was decorated according to my preferences, in a modern American style. I once believed that Liam Williams and I would spend the rest of our lives together in this home, but the truth is, he came home less and less frequently. Many times, I would eat alone, with a table full of food prepared by the housekeeper. I packed all my belongings. Over the years, Liam Williams had bought me so many pieces of jewelry, handbags, and clothes that they filled 7 or 8 suitcases. People say that poverty brings sorrow to a marriage. But Liam Williams and I have never faced such hardships. We both came from wealthy families, a match made in heaven. After graduating from high school at 19, I went to Finland for further studies. I accidentally lost my temporary passport, and he found it and brought it to the apartment where I was staying. That's how we met. Being alone in a foreign country, two people studying abroad felt as though they had met too late. We went to the library together to study, prepared our graduation theses together, and visited all the places we wanted to see. Our relationship was soon blessed by our families, and everything went smoothly until we got married. After marriage, he became increasingly busy, and we gradually drifted apart. Madam, Mr. Williams just called back. He said you didn't eat much at the banquet and was worried you might be hungry, so he asked the old housekeeper to make some soup and send it over. The housekeeper knocked on the door and walked in carrying a bowl of steaming chicken soup. It was the same ingredients as the day at the hospital, except without the peanuts. Liam Williams hadn't come home yet, he must be busy comforting Lynn Coco. Pour it out. I called a delivery service and took all my belongings back to my parents' house. The workers were busy unloading the items, and I went upstairs first. My brother Michael saw me and immediately pulled me into his room. Look, these are all for my nephew. I wonder if he'll like them. I looked at the room filled with unopened baby items and felt a pang of sadness. When I found out I was pregnant, I took a photo and sent it to my brother. What kind of emotions was I feeling when I called Liam Williams back then? It's strange. It's only been a week, but it feels like a century has passed. Maybe it's a niece. I tried to hold back the tears welling up in my eyes. My brother patted my head. Right, I made a mistake. A niece is great. A girl is great. When the time comes, I'll invest in a playground for our little treasure. Why are you crying? He leaned closer to me, his gaze suddenly landing on my chin. Are you hurt? Who hit you? I'll take care of him. Tears suddenly couldn't be held back, and I cried, Brother, I was abused. That bastard Liam Williams dared to hit you? My brother's gaze looked like he wanted to kill someone. Where else are you hurt? Nowhere else. I'll go settle this with him. I held back Michael, who was about to rush out. Brother, find someone to help me draft a divorce agreement. I want to divorce him. Divorce? Absolutely. That bastard. I'm going to find him right now. My brother cornered Liam Williams in the company parking lot and beat him for half an hour. When security found him, he had already passed out. He had 3 broken ribs, 5 stitches on his forehead, and various minor injuries on his face and body. However, my brother was smart. He attacked him in a blind spot of the surveillance cameras, leaving no evidence. When I went to the hospital with the divorce agreement to see Liam Williams, his mother and Lynn Coco were there. Liam Williams had a bandage on his head, his right arm in a cast, and Lynn Coco was helping him clean up. I must admit, when it comes to these matters, Lynn Coco is more capable than me. She's cut out to be a housekeeper. When my mother-in-law saw me, she jumped up from the sofa. Jessica, you've really outdone yourself. How dare you hire someone to beat up your honey? Are you even human? I won't let this go. I'm going to sue you. I remained expressionless, not even bothering to spare her a glance. This has nothing to do with you. I'm here to see your son. The mother-in-law was so angry she was trembling. You! How dare you speak to an elder like that? I'm your mother-in-law. I replied with a casual, oh, then added, not for much longer. The mother-in-law's face turned pale, and Lynn Coco paused in her task of wringing out the towel. Liam Williams leaned against the hospital bed, his face dark. Mom, Coco, you two go out first. The old woman shot me a glance, then spoke softly, pulling Coco by the hand. Come on, Coco, let's go out with Auntie first. I watched their affectionate backs and found it amusing. Hadn't the old woman once held my hand like that, calling me Judgia with such tenderness? I was curious to see how long her kind demeanor toward Lynn Coco would last. After Lynn Coco and the old woman left, I handed the documents to Liam Williams. Take a look first. If there's no problem, just sign it. Liam Williams glanced at the cover, which read, Divorce Agreement, and chuckled, Jessica, your brother beat me like this, and I didn't even mention divorce. What gives you the right to bring it up? Because of this. I held up the ultrasound report. You killed it with your own hands. Are you satisfied? Liam Williams flinched slightly but quickly regained his usual cold demeanor. 14 weeks? Jessica, do you know that in many countries, 14 weeks isn't even considered a life? You want to divorce me over this ultrasound report? Slap. I raised my hand and slapped him across the face. This slap was long overdue. When he pushed me, causing me to miscarry, when he took Lynn Coco to the banquet without telling me, when he cheated on me for 3 years and had an illegitimate child. This slap didn't cause much physical harm, but it was deeply humiliating. Liam Williams stared at me in disbelief, his bloodshot eyes filled with anger. You want a divorce, do you? Fine, I'll grant you your wish, but don't you dare regret it. Do you think anyone in this circle will marry you after you're a divorcee? I'll see who's willing to lose face. So that's how he felt. No wonder he dared to act so brazenly. He probably thought that my only option in life was to settle for him. In that moment, his image and the young man he once was were completely separated. I could clearly feel my heart aching, as if someone had gripped my heart, the pain intense. But I was also acutely aware that the pain was more a longing for the past than a lingering attachment to the man before me. My emotions suddenly calmed. Sign it. Liam Williams, however, seemed to be completely enraged by my calmness. Jessica, do you think I haven't been good enough to you all these years? In this circle, there are plenty of affairs. Do you think Emily's twins are her own? They're Ryan's children from outside, and he brought them home for her to raise. I haven't even asked you to help me raise my children. I looked at him in confusion. The once bright and promising young man, how could he have become this? Had he turned into an ordinary, mundane man of the world? He made me feel sick. Every single moment I spent with him made me feel utterly repulsed. So what? Should I thank you for not bringing that child back to raise with me, but instead giving it to your mother? I pulled out my phone, switched to my secondary account, and scrolled through my mother-in-law's social media feed. Recording my sweetie's first time eating solid food. Taking Noah for his vaccinations. Such a brave little Noah today. Accompanying Noah's mom to buy a bag. The Hermes we've been waiting for finally arrived. Happy 3rd birthday to little Noah. Stay healthy and grow up well. I read through my mother-in-law's WeChat moments one by one. Every post was about her and that child's daily life. All these years, I've been like a fool, kept in the dark, eating all sorts of bitter Chinese herbs, with countless needle marks on my body, all for the sake of giving the Liu family a child. When I was struggling with the failure of IVF, my mother-in-law, my honey, was celebrating that child's 3rd birthday. Liam Williams clenched the divorce agreement in his hand. When did you find out? I thought for a moment, about 6 months ago. Liam Williams laughed again. You could tolerate it before, so why can't you now? I looked at him calmly, with no trace of emotion in my eyes. Because I don't love you anymore. Liam Williams' face turned pale. I watched the light fade from his eyes. The arrogance and confidence he had always displayed in front of me crumbled in an instant. It turned out that the sword he used to hurt me was one I had given him. And it was my love that gave him the courage to hurt me. I watched his smile freeze on his lips as panic and anxiety welled up in his eyes. I could even feel his confusion. Just as I was about to open the door, I heard his hoarse, trembling voice. He called out to me, Jejia. I couldn't remember the last time he had called me that. I stopped in my tracks. I'll give you a day to read through the divorce agreement. If there's anything you're unhappy with, contact my lawyer to discuss it. I hope the next time we meet, it's at the Civil Affairs Bureau. After moving back home, my parents also found out about my relationship with Liam Williams. That night, the ashtray in the living room was filled with dozens of cigarette butts. I didn't know what my father was thinking as he stood by the floor-to-ceiling window, nor how long he had been silent. But the next day, he came to my room with my mother. He analyzed the pros and cons of divorce, urging me to think it through carefully. I knew that after the divorce, I could indeed escape the turmoil and start a new life. But it also meant giving Lynn Coco the opportunity to take my place. As a woman with a failed marriage, I would become a temporary laughingstock in this circle, a topic of gossip for everyone. Even when I meet my next love, it will be a stain on my reputation. Even if I don't think that way, society won't allow it. But I don't love Liam Williams anymore. I don't want him anymore. Even the feelings I once cherished so carefully have left me with nothing but the shame of societal judgment. Dad, Mom, I've made up my mind. I must divorce him. I returned to work at my family's company and joined the marketing department. The colleagues in the department were all young kids, and I suddenly understood my brother's well-meaning intentions. Ethan was the most handsome among all the colleagues, standing at 185 centimeters tall, with a touch of youthful innocence still lingering on him. Judja, hello. I'm new here too. This coffee is on me for everyone. Thank you, but I can't drink coffee. I smiled and declined politely. After the miscarriage, my body had just recovered, and I still needed to avoid certain foods for a while. Ethan didn't seem disappointed at all. He happily picked up the coffee and said, "I'll get you a cup of hot milk instead." I thought he was just joking, but when I came back from lunch, there was a steaming cup of hot milk on my desk. I suddenly remembered when Liam Williams was young, he ran 5 blocks to my apartment to bring me some ginger tea because I mentioned I had a stomachache. When he loved me, it was so real and tangible. So when he doesn't love me, it's also real. Since I'd just started, I wasn't familiar with many tasks, so I worked overtime for several hours and didn't leave until 8 p.m. As I walked out of the company, I heard Ethan's anxious voice behind me. Judja, you forgot your jacket. It's getting colder at night, don't catch a cold. Before I could say anything, he had already draped the jacket over my shoulders. Perhaps because I hadn't been around men in a while, I felt a bit awkward. He smiled and explained, "I saw you were carrying things, so you might not be able to put it on." Following his gaze, I saw the lunchbox in my hands. It was something my brother had specially asked the housekeeper to send over because he was worried I wouldn't eat healthily if I ordered takeout. We exchanged a smile, and I said, "Thank you." Ethan's warmth was always just enough. After handing me the jacket, he went upstairs to continue working. I took out my phone to call a taxi and saw Liam Williams sitting in his wheelchair, glaring at me with a dark expression. I gave him a cold look and turned to walk away. He struggled to turn his wheelchair and caught up with me, clenching his teeth and saying, "Jessica, don't tell me you divorced me and now you're planning to be with this kid who has no power or background? What does he have? Can he give you tens of thousands of dollars in living expenses, buy you a bag worth tens of thousands, or give you a mansion worth tens of millions?" I stopped in my tracks. We're both the same. Lynn Coco doesn't have a background either. Would you marry her? Liam Williams was speechless, his face turning red. After a while, he calmed down and took out the wedding ring I had left in his pocket. "Your mother found this while doing the laundry. Did you intentionally put it in my pocket?" I extended my slender, unadorned fingers. "Just like you didn't notice the peanuts in the soup your mother sent you, you didn't notice that I'd been wearing this ring all along. To you, I'm just a collectible on a bookshelf. You only need me to stay there, but you never ask about my needs or pay attention to me. Liam Williams, admit it. I'm not that important to you. So stop acting like I'm the one cheating. Sign the divorce papers. The next morning, I received a call from Liam Williams. Outside the Civil Affairs Bureau, couples waiting to divorce formed a long line. After waiting for an hour, it was finally our turn. The staff asked a few routine questions before handing the documents to Liam Williams and me to sign. I picked up the pen and signed my name without hesitation. Liam Williams bit his lip, clutching the pen tightly, hesitating to move. I handed the signed documents to the staff member and glanced at him. "Why aren't you signing?" Liam Williams' eyes were red, and his hand holding the pen was stiff. "Jessica, are you sure?" "I'm sure." "All right." Liam Williams looked at me for a moment before finally putting down the pen and signing his name. As we stepped out of the Civil Affairs Bureau, I felt an overwhelming sense of relief. It was as if the weight on my heart had finally been lifted. I no longer had to worry about losing him, or wait alone in the empty villa, hoping he would come home in the middle of the night. I didn't have to spend my days anxiously wondering when he would show up with Lynn Coco and kick me out of the house. I had finally let go of myself. After completing the procedures, I left for an overseas business trip. The client for this project had a mixed-race son in his early 20s, with striking features and a passionate, outgoing personality. He was also deeply fascinated by Chinese culture. He even gave himself a down-to-earth Chinese name, Lucas. Upon learning that I was from China, he suddenly appeared beside me with a large backpack on the day I signed the contract and returned to the country. "Sister, I want to visit China for a few days. Would you be willing to be my guide?" How could I refuse? The son of a client is like a golden goose. I booked Lucas a presidential suite for a week. When my brother heard about it, he immediately approved a week's leave for me, telling me to take good care of him. I took Lucas to several famous historical sites in the surrounding area. After 5 days, he still showed no signs of fatigue, while I just wanted to go home and sleep. "Sis, you've been so kind to me these past few days. Let me take you to a spa for a massage." I did some research, and the place up ahead is supposed to be great. I followed Lucas's gesture and stiffened at the sight of the place. This city is filled with memories. "All right, if you want to go, let's go." As I entered the store with Lucas, he continued to enthusiastically share the details of his research. "Jia, I heard this place was a wedding gift from the owner to his wife. Look up at the ceiling, there are 99 star lights, so you can enjoy the beauty of the night sky indoors. Are all Chinese people this romantic?" I looked up at the starry ceiling and feigned surprise. It really is. Lucas was satisfied and started taking photos everywhere. I was about to go to the front desk to book a room when I heard several girls' voices from a distance. "Coco, I'm so lucky to be with you today. I remember this event requires an SVIP card to make a reservation, and you have to spend a lot of money, right?" "Yeah, last time I called, they said non-SVIP members couldn't make a reservation and had to come to the store in person." Lin Coco was surrounded by the girls, smiling with her lips pressed together. "It's not as big a deal as you make it out to be. It's just a private room reservation." She pulled out a black card with gold embossed star patterns on it. "Coco, is this the girl who saw the card first was so surprised she couldn't speak. I know. Apparently, there are only 2 star cards in the world. One is with the boss, and the other is with the boss's wife. Oh my God, Coco, so this club was specially built for you by your brother-in-law. After all the gossip, I never realized the main character was right here beside me. Wow, Coco, you're so low-key. You never mentioned it to us before." Lin Coco raised her eyebrows slightly, elegantly tucking a strand of hair behind her ear, her voice playful and cheerful. "There's nothing much to say. That was an indirect admission. Sis, I heard this is where the boss proposed to the boss's wife. So you two secretly got married? I never would have guessed." A fleeting trace of awkwardness flashed across Lin Coco's brows, but she quickly suppressed it, giving a noncommittal smile. "They say the boss here is one of the 4 young masters of Washington, D.C., and he's incredibly handsome. That's so lucky." The group of girls giggled excitedly. "Liam Williams and I aren't secretly married, but we're not public figures, so there are no photos of us together on public platforms." I underestimated Lin Coco. I thought she could hide in the corner like a mouse for 3 years and endure it for a while longer, but I never expected her to come out and cause trouble so quickly, especially right in front of me. I took out my phone and called the manager. Soon, the front desk apologized and asked Lin Coco and her group to leave. The few girls who were with Lin Coco looked completely bewildered and demanded, "Are you all blind? Don't you recognize Coco? She's your boss's wife. Look, she's holding a star card." The manager glanced at Lin Coco without expression and said, "We don't know her. Get her out." Lin Coco's face turned red with anger and she shouted, "Is this how you treat customers? Do you know how much money is on this card? 1 million. Didn't Liam Williams teach you that the customer is always right? You've offended me now, and you'll all be fired if I call my boss." "I'd love to see who you can fire," I said lazily, walking up to the front desk and playing with my freshly done manicure. The divorce agreement my brother drafted for Liam Williams was almost equivalent to him leaving with nothing. Every penny Liam Williams earned since we started dating, I took 7 and he got 3. I thought he'd haggle with the lawyer for a while, but in the end, he acted like a man and handed over all the assets to me, including this high-end club. Lin Coco saw me and her eyes flashed with panic, but she quickly regained her composure. She leaned close to me and whispered in a voice only the 2 of us could hear, "Jessica, do you really think you're still Mrs. Williams? You're just my defeated opponent. Defeated opponent? I snorted in derision. If you don't leave, I'll call security. Lin Coco coldly tugged at the corner of her mouth. Don't regret crossing me. After speaking, she pulled out her phone and walked to the side, her expression weak and pitiful. A moment later, she walked back, raising her eyebrows at me. My honey said he's on his way. Jessica, you better wait. As Lin Coco had said, less than 10 minutes after she finished her call, Liam Williams arrived. The urgency was as if he had flown here on a rocket. I remembered that when I was with Liam Williams before, I was used to handling everything on my own. Sure enough, men are inherently more inclined to be relied upon. Liam Williams walked in, glanced at me, and walked straight over. He acted as if we hadn't divorced, reporting his schedule to me. He glanced at me, rubbed his forehead, and explained, I was just nearby for a business meeting. I said nothing. The few girls Lin Coco had brought along started whispering among themselves. Wow, your brother-in-law is so handsome. Coco, you're so lucky to have found such a handsome and wealthy honey. Wah, I'm so jealous of Coco's sister. Lin Coco couldn't hide her smile, but she pretended to be upset, holding up the star card in her hand and shaking it. You finally came. They were going to kick me out and said they didn't know me. Liam Williams' gaze suddenly turned cold. Who gave you permission to use this card? His voice was icy, sending a shiver down Lin Coco's spine. The girls beside her stood frozen in place, confused. After a moment, Lin Coco asked with red eyes, this card, can't I use it? Liam Williams pressed his lips together. How did you get this card? Lin Coco's lips trembled with hurt. 2 days ago, you said I could use the cards in your wallet. Liam Williams snatched the card from her hand, his voice cold and terrifying, get out. Lin Coco refused to give up, asking with a trembling voice, why can't I use this card? I walked up with a light smile, reaching out to grab the card from Liam Williams' hand. Because this club is mine. Didn't Liam Williams tell you? This club has been transferred to my name. As I spoke, I pulled the star card with some force, but found that Liam Williams was holding it tightly, unwilling to let go. My gaze darkened, and I looked at him with annoyance, just as he had looked at me earlier. Judge. Liam Williams stared at me intently, his voice trembling slightly. I let go of the card. Liam Williams, if you can't control your mistress, and she dares to dance in front of me again, I'll handle her for you. Everyone was stunned by the shocking revelation, glaring at Lin Coco with disdain. Lin Coco's face turned red with embarrassment. She clenched her lips and looked at Liam Williams, hoping he would say something for her. Liam Williams' hand holding the star card froze in midair. His lips were tightly pressed together, and he didn't even glance at her. Lin Coco let out a sob and ran out crying. Some of Lin Coco's friends chased after her, but a few were drawn to Lucas, who had suddenly appeared. He was wearing a black jacket with a camera hanging around his neck. Excitedly, he ran up to me, the backyard. The stone monument in the backyard, I thought it was scripture based on the guide. Turns out it's a wedding vow. The owner of this place must really love his wife. Lucas grabbed my wrist, thrilled by his new discovery. Liam Williams' expression darkened. Who is he? Before I could speak, Lucas stepped forward and introduced himself. Hi, I'm Lucas, from Canada, Jessica's boyfriend. Lucas wasn't very proficient in Chinese and couldn't distinguish between male friend and boyfriend. Liam Williams' expression grew even darker. All right. Jessica, you're something else. I didn't bother with him. Seeing he wasn't willing to hand over the star card, I turned to the manager and said, cancel this star card. From today onward, anyone who comes here with this card should be kicked out. Liam Williams' face turned as dark as a pot bottom upon hearing this. Jessica, don't be so cruel. Humph, am I cruel? Compared to him letting Lin Coco come to my territory to cause trouble, I was already being considerate. Liam Williams, you've tarnished our memories. Liam Williams opened his mouth as if to defend himself, but was interrupted by Lucas beside him. Judge, I'm so tired. Have you prepared the room yet? Let's go for a massage. I'll tell you, my technique is amazing. You'll feel so relaxed. My older sister pretended to stroke his head. All right, I trust your skills. The night before Lucas was set to return home, my brother invited me to treat him to a meal as a farewell gesture. The next morning, before boarding the plane, he looked reluctant to leave, swearing he'd study Chinese culture diligently and strive to come back to China for further studies as soon as possible. I encouraged him to keep up the good work and said that if he really got into a university in China, I would come to pick him up. After Lucas left, I went back to my ordinary work life. One day during lunch break, I suddenly received a call from Emily. She blurted out, "Jia, when are you planning to get married?" "Marriage?" I was stunned. "Marriage? Am I out of my mind?" Just when I'd climbed out of one muddy pit, I was about to fall into another abyss. Moreover, I didn't even have a boyfriend. Emily, hearing my shocked tone, was also puzzled. "Your brother posted something on his social media a few days ago. In the photo, you were having dinner with a foreign mixed-race guy, and he captioned it saying you two looked so well-matched. We all thought you were getting married. And you know what? That guy is really good-looking. You've been sneaking around with him, haven't you? WeChat moments? Foreign mixed?" My first thought was Lucas. But I hadn't seen my brother's WeChat moments at all these past few days. I suddenly realized what was going on, grabbed Ethan's phone, and unlocked it with his face. Sure enough, there was my brother's post with over 100 likes. My brother had posted on WeChat moments and blocked me. I had been kept in the dark for a whole week. Not only did everyone in the circle know I had already divorced, but they even thought I was about to remarry. I skipped work early and rushed home to confront my brother about why he did this. As soon as I arrived downstairs, I noticed a black sedan parked at the villa's entrance, which looked familiar. Just as I was about to walk closer, Liam Williams burst out from the corner and grabbed my hand. "Jia, I'm sorry. It was my fault. I shouldn't have treated you like this. Give me another chance. Let's start over, okay?" He looked disheveled, with bloodshot eyes, a scruffy beard, and reeking of alcohol. I just stood there, staring at him, feeling nothing. He continued, "I'll send Lynn Coco and the child abroad. I promise they'll never come back. And there's something else I've never told you." He grabbed my hand, trying to use my cold palm to stroke his cheek, just like every time we argued in the past, when he'd cry and beg for my forgiveness. Lynn Coco was indeed pregnant with a second child, but I made her have an abortion. The day you saw us at the hospital, I was there with her for the post-abortion checkup. "Jia, I never once wanted to separate from you. Do you understand? No matter what I've done in the past, the person I love most in this world has always been, and will always be, you. Liam Williams, you're despicable." I pushed his hand away and backed up several steps as if avoiding a plague. "Why did you come find me? Why tell me all this? Why, in the end, do you have to shatter the last remnants of my illusions about you?" I thought the end was because we no longer loved each other. But I never imagined that the man I once loved was such a man without principles or boundaries. Liam Williams looked at me dejectedly, his eyes filled with shattered fragments. "Jia, you lied to me. What did I lie about? You said you were like a collectible in my study. I didn't care about you or value you. Today, I smashed all those collectibles, and I didn't feel a thing. But why do I feel so miserable after divorcing you? Tell me why." He looked confused and sad, like a child who couldn't solve a problem, crying for an answer. "I didn't want to get into this anymore. You're drunk. Go home." Liam Williams shook his head. "Jia, are you getting married?" "No." I scoffed. "Didn't you say that after leaving you, no one in the industry would look at me anymore?" Liam Williams' eyes suddenly flashed with anger. "Those bastards. If we hadn't divorced, I wouldn't have known there were so many bastards after you. I thought once we got married, they'd give up. But after all these years, what gives them the right to still be after you?" Liam Williams grew more and more agitated, the veins on his neck bulging. "And that bastard Daniel. At our wedding, he drank himself into a stupor. I thought he was happy for me. But then, just a few days ago, he flew back from abroad after hearing about our divorce. He actually told me you were his white moonlight, and now that you're not his sister-in-law anymore, he can pursue you freely. I remember Daniel. He was Liam Williams' best man when we got married. However, I don't remember having any interaction with him. But none of that matters to me anymore. I had imagined countless times that one day Liam Williams would regret leaving me. I always thought that as long as he repented and was willing to come back, I could forgive him and spend the rest of my life with him. I could endure 1,000 hardships, but I couldn't stop loving him. But when that day finally came, I was surprisingly calm. Liam Williams' apology and repentance mean nothing to me. Liam Williams, my worth has never been defined by my ability to attract others. Liam Williams, our connection has come to an end. From the moment I decided to divorce you, I let go completely. I truly don't love you anymore. No. That's not true. You're lying. Liam Williams was nearly, ignoring my resistance as he grabbed me and held me tightly. You love me. We swore in St. Patrick's Cathedral that we would cherish each other forever and never part. His voice was hoarse, barely audible. Judja, please, love me one more time. I'm begging you. I felt the trembling of his body and the desperate plea that came from the depths of his soul, and I didn't know why. I struggled desperately, but I couldn't break free. At that moment, I felt no pity, only a profound sense of tragedy. It seemed as though I could deeply understand the saying, those who are pitiful must also be despicable. Liam Williams' phone rang like a lifeline, ringing 3 times in a row, but he refused to let go of me. Answer the phone. It might be urgent. Liam Williams finally let go of me and answered the phone with an impatient expression. What's the matter? The villa area was eerily quiet in the dead of night. I heard the sound of Lynn Coco sobbing on Liam Williams' phone. Liam Williams, I thought you cared about me just a little. Don't send me and the child abroad. He's so young, he won't be able to adapt. Come back, let's talk. Let's talk, okay? If you don't come back, I'll kill myself. Please come back and see me. She actually wanted to use death to keep a man. Liam Williams heard her mention suicide and reacted even colder than I did. Lynn Coco, stop using these tactics to threaten me. If you want to die, do it far away. Don't turn this house into a murder scene. Liam Williams, you should go see her. I didn't feel sorry for Lynn Coco. If she wanted to die, no one could stop her. I just wanted to get rid of Liam Williams as soon as possible. I didn't expect my words to reach Lynn Coco's ears through the phone, and she immediately exploded. Are you with Jessica? Do you regret divorcing her? Are you sending me and the kids abroad to win her back? Liam Williams, do you have a heart? Liam Williams' face tensed up. Soon, Lynn Coco started begging frantically, honey, don't abandon me. Don't send me and the kids away. I beg you. I'll be good. No matter what you want to do, I won't say a word. These two crazy people are truly made for each other. Taking advantage of Liam Williams' moment of distraction, I finally escaped and went upstairs. After losing the children, I couldn't sleep well at night. When I got up in the middle of the night, I saw Liam Williams still standing under the streetlight in front of the villa, with cigarette butts scattered all over the ground. The next morning, Liam Williams was gone. After washing up and heading out the door, I was just stepping outside when Lynn Coco burst out from the corner like a madwoman. Jessica, please spare me. Give Liam Williams back to me, will you? You have everything, wealthy parents, a loving older brother, and this luxurious villa. But all I have is Liam Williams. Her hands were wrapped in bandages. It seemed yesterday's suicide attempt wasn't entirely an act. I looked at her indifferently. I already gave him to you. I divorced him, didn't I? But as long as you're still here, he'll keep coming after you. He wants to send me and the kids abroad. Jessica, I don't speak any foreign languages. If I go abroad, I'll be miserable. I don't want to leave Liam Williams. Please have mercy on me. I burst out laughing. I hope you suffer. This accomplice who killed my child. You did this on purpose? It was all your plan? Jessica, you're so cunning. You never really wanted to divorce him, did you? You were just playing hard to get. Lynn Coco's expression was. The servant stopped her from getting closer. I turned around and got into the car my brother had specially arranged for me. Through the rearview mirror, I saw Lynn Coco clutching her injured wrist, kneeling on the ground in a pitiful state. What goes around comes around. Liam Williams came looking for me several more times, but to avoid causing trouble for my family, I moved out. My brother bought me a 2-story bungalow and hired a housekeeper to take care of me. One day, when I got up and went downstairs, the housekeeper suddenly came up to me and apologized. Miss, this madam insisted on coming in, saying she wanted to see you. I couldn't stop her. I looked at my former mother-in-law sitting on the sofa, shook my head to signal to the housekeeper that it was okay, and told her to leave first. My former mother-in-law had lost a lot of weight compared to before, and the wrinkles on her face were deeper. Upon seeing me, she immediately stood up from the sofa and cautiously called out to me, "Jia." I walked over to the counter, poured myself a cup of coffee, and asked, "Is there something you need, Auntie?" My former mother-in-law suddenly walked toward me and knelt down before me with a thud. "Jia, my son is depressed every day, refusing to talk to anyone, refusing to eat, and always locking himself in his room, holding on to things you've used and muttering to himself. I know it's all our fault, but if Liam Williams keeps this up, he'll die. I beg you, for the sake of our marriage, please go see him and try to talk some sense into him." The mother-in-law, who had been proud all her life, was now kneeling before me, her former daughter-in-law, for her son. Yet my heart remained unmoved. Everything that happened today was their own choice. I stirred my coffee with a spoon. "Auntie, my son and I are divorced. In other words, we have no relationship now. When you burst into my house earlier, I could have reported you for trespassing. So, I won't go see your son. You can leave now. Jia, please, please save my son. Show her out." The mother-in-law was eventually escorted out by the maid. She struggled to get up from the ground, every movement painfully slow. Watching her lonely and desolate figure, I realized that I had finally let go of the past. After staying at my family's company for another 6 months, I used my savings to start my own design company. On the day of the grand opening, Lynn Coco secretly returned to the country, somehow getting wind of the news. She brought her 4.5-year-old son to the entrance of my company and caused a scene, saying she wanted to hang herself there. Upon hearing the news, Liam Williams rushed over, had Lynn Coco admitted to a psychiatric hospital, and then came to apologize to me in person. "I'm sorry. I didn't know Lynn Coco would do something so crazy. She's mentally unstable. I've already had her admitted to a psychiatric hospital. The security there is strict, so she won't bother you anymore." Compared to a year ago, he had lost a lot of weight, his eyes were sunken, and his skin was sallow. He no longer had the vigor of his youth. It had only been a year and a half since we divorced. The child has also been admitted to a children's mental health hospital. I heard that Lynn Coco had taken out all her frustration on her son, causing him to develop severe autism. Suddenly, he grabbed my hand again, his eyes sparkling. "Jia, I read your diary from before. It said, when we were watching the stars in North Pole, Alaska, I promised you that I would give you a planet named after you. It seemed like there was such a thing. I don't remember." "I remember." Liam Williams' eyes burned with determination. "Jia, I will fulfill this promise, I promise. But buying a planet costs 200 billion, and I don't have that much money yet. But wait for me, I will make it happen. I won't go back on my word." I shook my head. "Liam Williams, it's not necessary. The past is the past. Don't refuse me, please don't refuse me." His voice grew hoarse, and the light in his eyes seemed ready to fade at any moment. I thought back to over half a year ago, when his mother found me and told me about his condition, saying he had been getting by thanks to the things in that diary. After that, Liam Williams never appeared in my life again. But every month, my account would receive a deposit. At first, I thought it was a company dividend and didn't pay much attention. But when the amount in my account neared 100 billion, I finally realized something was wrong. After checking the account, I discovered it was Liam Williams's account. Forget it, let's just pretend he's saving money with me. I didn't contact him, canceled the text alerts for that card, and stopped asking how much more he had sent. After the company stabilized, I set aside a few months each year to travel around the world. Every time I arrived somewhere, I made some new friends and stayed there for a while. Over the years, many people have pursued me, but I seem to have grown accustomed to living alone and just want to spend more time appreciating the beauty of the world. The last time I returned to Washington, D.C., I learned that Liam Williams had passed away a week earlier. Later, I met Emily. She said, "You know Liam Williams? His family was well off, but after divorcing you, he must have lost his mind. He worked day and night, constantly attending parties and social events. In the end, he died suddenly from a brain hemorrhage, alone at home with no one to find him." Emily sighed, her voice filled with regret. Just then, my phone rang. It was a message from the company's finance department. "Jia, I checked the accounts the other day, and there's been a total of 200 billion transferred into your rarely used account. When was the last transfer? 10 days ago. Emily showed me a photo of his tombstone. It was taken when we were in North Pole, Alaska, and I had taken it for him. Behind Liam Williams was the vast starry sky. At the time, I asked him, "Do you think there will ever be a planet named after me, Jessica?" He smiled broadly. "Of course there will. Because your boyfriend here will give it to you." 10 years later, Liam Williams fulfilled the promise he made as a young boy with his own life. But some mistakes can never be forgiven.